Hello, my name is Spencer Cooper. I work with a company called Turnkey Mobile, and this is my presentation for Cradlepoint Mountaineer. And the scenario that I chose for this one is the remote slash small office, home office employees. Um, they've decided to take their 80 employees and give them the option to stay home and work full time remotely. And they need control and VPN capabilities, which is absolutely possible with Cradlepoint. The models that I'd recommend for this is an E300 or an E3000. I'd lean more towards the 300. It's a little cheaper, and it will do everything that they need it to do. And it's built for this is what it's for. It's for a SOHO. It's for small offices and home offices. So I would definitely push them more towards the 300, just for that simple fact of the price tag. And they're not going to get anything extra out of the 3,000 of what they're looking for. So for what they're looking for control, to be able to control these routers from wherever they are, and that's very easily possible with Cradlepoint's NetCloud Manager. They can use NetCloud to manage all 80. If all 80 employees decided that they're going to go home and work from home, they would easily be able to use NetCloud Manager to manage all 80 of these devices wherever they are. They do have VPN capabilities, and Cradlepoint works with the basic VPNs. Some of the common ones that they work with are OpenVPN, GRE tunnels, and IPsec. Those are the most common ones. So those are the ones that I'd probably recommend using because most devices will speak with those. So there's their VPN options, and I'll show all this later in the video, actually on my screen, and you'll be able to see where I'm going and what I'm talking about, what I'm showing. Another thing is the NetCloud Manager allows for that easy remote management. They'll be able to update these routers, change configurations if need be, all from remotely. They don't even need to leave their own homes. They can sit in their own homes and remotely manage these. They don't need to be connected to their network. They just need to have an internet connection of any kind. You could even use your mobile hotspot on your phone if you had to. As long as you have a way to the internet, you have a way to the NetCloud Manager, no matter what. Another neat feature that they would have, the ability that they have, because I know with remote work, sometimes people like to try to travel while they're working remotely. There is a GeoView option that you can use that will actually show you on the world map where this Cradlepoint is located. If you've got a lot of people living in the same area, it might get a little jumbled, but you can still very easily zoom in and see where these routers are actually physically located in the world. And I'll show all that as well. I don't have a demo to show for the GeoView, but I can show the tab and show you what it looks like. And we're about to actually go over there and start looking at that stuff. There's not much more for me to touch on, so we'll just end this here and go to the screen. Okay. So in here, this will be the first screen that you see when you log into NetCloud Manager. The first thing you'll see is you notice I've got all these different routers and all these different devices in this list. This is just all the devices that I have access to. You are able to set who can see what in here as well. So there might be stuff in TKM's list of what what routers they have out there. I know we've got more than this out there in the world, but I only have access to see these specific ones because these are the projects that I have been a part of. For us though, I'm gonna use our E300 that we actually use in office. There's about 20 employees here, and this thing works just fine for us. So there's probably about 15 employees here actually, but it works fine for us, no issues. Let me go ahead and get in here. So when I click on it, the first thing that'll pop up here when I click on it is the dashboard for it whenever it loads. And you'll see in the dashboard, that's where you've got your GeoView. You can see the connection statuses, the uptimes, interfaces that you've got to use. So here you can see that I've got an Ethernet connection. It's been up for a day. There's my there's my IP, which I'll probably blur out if I can. And then if you've got my LAN here, you'll see where my LAN are. There's our domain and everything like that, our VLANs that we've got. And then the geo view here. And for me, we've got the location services disabled, so I can't really show anything, but it would look a lot like it'd look a lot like Google Maps. When you pull it up, it'll show a little dot on the map of what devices are. So for this one, it'll probably be somewhere over here in Missouri for us. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show too much of the location services, but this is pretty much what you'll be seeing as well. Let me see if I can turn it on really quick and just see if it'll just kind of go. It needs about 5 minutes, it says, to find it. We'll see if we can get it to load up here. If I can't, that's fine. We'll move on. Well, it doesn't look like I'll be able to get this one to go right now. Might need some more time. But if I was to find it on the map, it would be somewhere around here. Probably be right about here. That's where it would probably be. Somewhere around here, right here. And there'd be a little dot here that would show that this is where it's located geographically. Unfortunately, it's not working for me right this second, but it does function. I have seen this function work before. It does work. It just needs a little time to figure out where it is, and it most likely will need a little bit of configuration. But moving on, this other part up here, you'll notice up here where my mouse is, these are all the ports that are being used on this modem. So you can tell what ports they have hooked up, and you can't tell what's hooked up to what fully, but you do have a little bit of information you can get from this, if it'll pull it up for me here. So I can see what VLAN it's part of. I can see if it's up or down, the link speeds, and all that good information. The incoming data and outgoing data, I can see that as well. And that's about it. Let me see here. And here's your security tab. This may be helpful for you if you're trying to administrate all of these routers all at the same time. Being able to see where are they going on the internet, what are they going to risky websites, does employee A have a ton of web threats or a ton of blocked violations, and then employee B doesn't have as many. Do they all have the same amount? You can learn some good stuff from this screen as well. But we will go ahead and we'll move on to the configuration here. So if I want to configure it, all I'll do is I'll come down here and I'll click the checkbox, and then I'll click configuration and edit, and then it'll open the configuration for this device. There are more configuration options if you're actually connected to a LAN on these devices, but there's still a lot of stuff you can do through the NetCloud Manager. Most of the stuff you're going to want to do, you can do through NetCloud, no problem. You're going to spend, if you're configuring this for people at home, you're going to spend most of your time in networking and the security tab. So we'll go through some of those and kind of touch base on some of the things that you're looking for in particular. First one right here is tunnels. So this is where you're going to find your VPNs, your IPsec tunnels, your OpenVPN tunnels, and there's a couple other options here. I personally am not too sure what a lot of these are. These kind of go over my head. The ones that I know the most are GRE, OpenVPN, and IPsec. These are the ones that I'd recommend sticking with the most. These are the most common VPNs that people will use. So here you can add a VPN, and fill in all this information, and next, and then on the other side do the same thing, and this will work. We've set these up a couple times to where they do work. They 100% are a great option. It's great that I'm able to do this with Cradlepoint. And let's see here, the other part. Remote management. So if I wanted to, let's see here, administrator. Nope, I'm looking for a very specific one here. No. You can set up SSH on them, and I turned mine off. You can set up SSH. I'm not sure about Telnet. I don't know how Telnet would work. I don't know if it'll allow something like that to work here. But SSH does work if you'd want to configure that to be able to remote into these routers with a command line. Although you've got the great NetCloud Manager here in front of you, I would recommend just using NetCloud Manager as well. When you're in here, you can see here there is all your profiles, which are your ports on your modem. You can use, what is that sound? You can use this to see what's connected. Right now, it's not showing it as anything's connected, but if it is connected and it's up and running, it'll normally show up as green. The one of these, like all these bars, will be green, or the Ethernet sign will be green. But right now, they are not. And then right here you can also see all of your auto VPN networks, which is nice to be able to see that good stuff. In the security tab in here, you've got port forwarding. If you needed to do any port forwarding, as you can see, we've got a ton of port forwarding going on in this one. So we definitely take advantage of the port forwarding here. You've got your zones, your zone policies, and your zone forwarding, and all that good stuff, and your firewalls and all that stuff right there. Let's see here. And the one thing I'm looking for here is, here's some login. You can do logging as well, just like any other router. You can do logging. Here's SMS. This is interesting. We have a SIM card in them. So the way that these operate is with a SIM card, and that is your connection to the internet. They're cellular routers, as I'm sure you know, since you're in the market for one. They maybe it's not in here that I'm looking for it. These are great products here. Let's see. Get rid of this. Yep, okay. Now here we go. So if I needed to, I can also do this, remote connect. I can connect to the device, or I can connect to the console and console into it remotely. This, I don't want to click on it because I don't know where it's going to take me. But this is the way that you would connect to any devices connected to it, or connect to the device itself and the command line to be able to put commands into it from there. But here you can do reboots, you can do speed test, a site survey, you can restore everything to the default. Let's see here, settings. You can unregister them from your account as well if you need. If you're getting rid of this one or something, you can unregister it as well. Let's see here. This one's the NetCloud OS. So that is what you would be using to upgrade firmware right now, or should be at the latest. I'm pretty sure it is. See if I can click on one of these that isn't at the latest, and if it'll. It might be. Well, I can click retry upgrade and it'll try to upgrade. I'm not going to do that though because I don't want to. These are active in the world and people are using them, and if I upgrade them, they may break. So I believe that is all I have to go over. Thank you for your time and thank you for reviewing this video. Sorry that it went on so long, but once again, my name is Spencer Cooper. I work with Turnkey Mobile, and thank you. Bye.